welcome back for another episode of lelo o Ke Akua, the language or the words of God. We are in Ekolu Lapule, week 3. Our word for today is Lokomaika. That's the word that we use for goodness in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. This is the fruit of the Spirit. It says, Aka o kahua na kauhane, oia ke aloha ka oli oli, ke kuikahi, ke aho nui, ka lokomaikai, ka maikai, ka manao i'o. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, and faithfulness. One of the things that I love about this idea of goodness and the word that we use, lokomaikai, it intrinsically means to be good inside. Loko meaning inside, maikai is the word that many of us know to mean good. And goodness isn't so much about the things we do outside of ourselves, but it's really what's inside of us. What makes us good. It's the good fruit that we bear comes from what's inside of us, what's already put in there by Ke Akua. I love the way that this is another translation, but this is the good and special book. It's the Pigeon Bible. Well, what it says in the same verse is it says, but if we stay tight with God's Spirit, He give us plenty love and aloha for everybody. He make us stay real good inside. Right? And that's the idea of when we live for Jesus, we live knowing that He fills us with goodness, knowing that Lokomaikai is a part of who we are, our good disposition. And out of that good disposition, we in turn bless the world. When we look at the story of Jesus, when Jesus gets left behind in the temple when he's 12 years old and his parents come back and find him, and they don't find him until 3 days later. But when they finally find him, they tell him they're worried about him. Don't you know that you have worried us? But what it says about the men that are gathered in that temple with Jesus is it says that they were amazed at his questions and the things that he thought, right? It's the things inside of him that was filling people with amazement. And so this week we encourage you, as you ponder on this idea of lokomaikai, of good disposition, of goodwill, to continue to think about the goodness that God has filled you with, and how can you bless others out of the goodness that is already in you, because God loves us, because God sent His Son for us to die for each and every one of us. May God's goodness be evident in all the ways that you live, in the ways that you speak to one another, in the ways that you act towards one another. May we always be filled with loving kindness and goodness. Aloha ahui ho malama pono.